It's great to have football back. Well, it was up until yesterday's result against Bristol City. Welcome back to Where Blades Walk. Hope you've had a great summer. We are back for another season of Championship reviews. We've got Connor, Dan and Shex ready to give their view of what the hell happened against Bristol City. But hope you are all doing well. 20 minutes of Sheffield United chat. We are all here for it. Thank you very much for your support last season. We're here to give it another go. I tell you what, we could have driven a Bristol combine harvester through that defence yesterday. We're talking about have the owners rightfully backed the manager, and in 2 weeks what needs to be done. We're talking about RND and should he ever be put in that position again, and just what's the verdict on Sellers. There's been lots of knee-jerk reactions following that result, but we aren't going to be knee-jerk, Connor, here, are we? We're going to be level-headed and sensible. Connor, let's start with you. What the hell happened?
I think it's just a case of the squad isn't ready. It seems a bit to me like the season in the Premier League when we obviously got battered every week. Just seems like that sort of start where squad ain't ready. Obviously, we sold an L a couple of days before. Kiefer Moore as well. Just lost that physicality. And from there, the defence picked itself because of the options. And it was just really worrying to see Narrington-Davies starting when he couldn't even get in team last season. And then it was just obvious what was going to happen, weren't it?
Yeah, if you've not seen the show before, we go through a variety of tweets, some good, some bad, and put these to the panel. There was quite a lot of these, so I'll just use this one here. Please, for love of God, get a couple of centre-halves in. A season of Narrington-Davies and Robinson is going to end us, from Sanctimonious Prime. Shax, you were outspoken on social media after the game saying, look, the Sellers needs backing here. Is it your view that he hasn't been so far and that the blame for that result should go to the owners rather than Sellers?
Yeah, I'm not. There's obviously 2 weeks left at transfer window. I'm not putting any blame on Sellers. I think it's same in any job. Like if you're a plumber and you've got to fit a kitchen and somebody takes all your tools away just as you're about to start job, or takes your tools that you need away just before you're going to start job, then you're not going to get job done, are you? And I think that's what's happened. He's lost the probably your ball winner, if you like, in Sousa at middle of your park. You bite, your bit of nastiness. He's gone. He's fetched Samari in, but he's probably not ready just yet. And then centre half. I mean, we needed a defender anyway, and then to lose an L. Obviously, I understand why they've done that. £7 million, and then from an L side of it, he's playing Champions League, he's playing in front of 50,000 every week. I've no blame on him, but we can't. We just, as you've said, we can't. Norrington-Davies, mate, he's not even good enough for his own position. No mind the position what we've chucked him in, isn't it? He'd be worse left back at club. So it's just, unfortunately for him, again, like you can't really blame. He were crap. Don't get me wrong, and I agree with all them, but you can't blame him. He's been chucked in there, hasn't he? And because there's nobody else, I suppose. So, I mean, board they've got to back Sellers. Otherwise, what we're doing this season, you know what I mean? We've showed after one game that defence is not going to stop teams just walking through us. So we need reinforcement. Sellers needs backing.
Cheers for that, Shax. The system, Dan, many were pointing out. There's a point made by Carl, who said the game proved what every man and his dog knew. You need good defenders with a bit of speed to play that system. Until he gets the defence sorted, he can't play with that system. Good managers adapt to the players he's got. Is there some truth in that, you know, if you haven't got the players to play a system, then don't play it?
Maybe, yeah, but if you, as a manager, if you believe in something and you believe it can work, why aren't you going to try it? I think for large parts of that first half yesterday, even at 2-1, you know, I felt that we could quite easily score 3, 4 or 5. But so I don't really know. I noticed a few differences when we were taking corners. Every single player, barring as goalkeeper, were basically on edge 18-yard box or in their area, which is a little bit different. You know, as fullbacks have gone really, really high. We've got caught for second goal, which is fine if that's how he wants to play. But he can't just change it then when he gets the players mid-season. So you've got to have a plan of how to play. You can't just say, right, lads, we're going to play 4-4-2, and then when we get 3 or 4 new players, we're going to try and do this. You've got to, if that's the way you want to go about it, you've got to try and do it with the players you've got. Because let's be honest, the attacking element of it were fine.
Yeah.
In that first half.
Yeah.
And we knew this from pre-season. It doesn't matter the level of opposition you play, no disrespect. We conceded goals. I sense that had happened. I sense that we'd score a few because that's the way. You look at the shots yesterday, I think we had 21 shots on goal, 14 corners, all of them in that first half. So I think that shows you on that footing, fine, we potentially don't need much more in that department. But at the other end, I genuinely believe that Tyler Bindon wasn't brought into play. I think he was going to be the third centre half. But I don't really know where we go with this because you've got 2.5 weeks left or 2 weeks left, whatever it is. And for me, you've got to sign 2, maybe 3 centre half, especially if Jack Robinson's going to go to Wrexham, which is obviously what the rumour is. I just don't know. I think he's had the rug pulled from under him. The reason they sacked Chris Wilder, in my opinion, is because he's gone in and said, I want this, I want that, I want this. And they're not interested in that. They want somebody who'll just say, yeah, no problem. And I think that whatever Ruben Sellers does, as fans, we're going to look at him and say it's him. He's the man in the middle, isn't he? So he's got us to answer to, and he's got the board to answer to. So, but if they're not going to back him, what's going to happen? You bring in Sam McCallum on at right back, and he's a left back. That tells you how desperate we are. And again, I think this happened 2 years ago in the Premier League. We've gone in with Benny Traore, Ryan Wanney, who'd never played a first team game, and you're bringing those boys up pitch. You can't be underprepared, especially at Premier League and Championship level. You can't be underprepared because, and again, no disrespect, we've played, for me, a bang average Bristol City team, who I don't think will win 3 away games all season. Who I thought were a better team last year, and we beat them 6-0 over 2 playoff games comfortably. So I don't know. It's all about opinions, isn't it? But for me, I very, very sceptical whether they'll put their hand in the pocket. I hope they do, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Time will tell. Cheers for that. We'll look at a few more tweets. Still to come, though. We're going to get these 3 to predict where the Blades will finish this season, and we're going to find out whether there's any ounce of sympathy for what's going on in the other side of the city at the end of the video as well. I'm going to guess not very much. We'll find out in a bit. Kerry says, Connor, this is the worst second half I've ever seen at this level. Betis needs to be on the phone now and getting 2 centre-backs, 1 big man up front and 1 right wing. RND getting the boos when Brooksy, Burrows and Ty were just as bad didn't sit well with me. This result should mean that action is taken and soon. You disagree with much on there, Connor?
No, I don't think. I think for me, the only performances that I thought weren't too bad. Callum O'Hare put a decent shift in, and I liked Louis Barry. I liked his appearance. I thought it were a bit strange that we subbed him off so early. But in terms of what we need, I definitely agree. We need a couple of centre-backs, like Dan said. If Robinson's going to leave as well, that's even shorter than what we already are. We're short of probably right-back as well. Up front, wings. There's just so much that needs sorting out with just a couple of weeks left. It is worrying, but you'd like to think with money we've brought in, close to like 20 odd million, we should have money to spend. I know sometimes deals do get done later on. Obviously, like Morgan Gibbs White, we didn't get till really late on in the window, so there's every possibility we could be hanging on to some decent players coming in. We've got to hope for that, because if not, it's going to be a really worrying season for me.
Okay. Shax, what needs to get sorted out then for Swansea? I mean, obviously we might not have any new players in by then, but do we need what needs to happen at that back four starting on Saturday?
Well, they need to leave Norrington-Davies in Sheffield. We can start with that. He don't even warrant a place on bus. I'll play centre half if he can't do it. They just like lads have just said. We need reinforcements. You need to replace what we've lost and add to what we already needed. And it's just as simple as that. It's like, I should imagine every manager's got a list, or every manager's got a list of positions that he needs filling. And I've never been a fan of transfer window shutting after season starts. I've never understood that waiting until 31st. That should be 31st of July. Then we won't even be having this conversation. But it is what it is, and we're working with what we've got. I do think we'll attract better players than probably 22 other sides in Championship will when Premier League loan market opens. Connor's just mentioned Gibbs White. We've had Dean Henderson. We've had McAtee, we've had Doyle. We do attract decent loan players, and I think that'll happen again. The problem we've got now is everybody knows straight away what we want. Everybody knows we're coming for a centre half. So, such as like Man City with Doyle, they're going to know we're desperate. So all of a sudden we're covering all his wages and probably paying a bigger loan fee than what we would have been paying. Yeah. And that goes for any centre half that we go on target now. If we're going transfer market, phone's going to ring and they're just going to be like, getting it that one, hey, United are on phone, stick another million on because they've just watched us get trounced. So I do think now we're getting very close to that desperate already. It's one game, but we're desperate for defenders. And just watch Norrington Davis and you know how desperate we are. I don't need to tell you that. Just watch him and that'll tell you all you need to know.
Okay. Cheers for that, first. Finally, Dan, on this one, I've got to share this tweet with you because it was one of the biggest head losses I'd seen. Tom Thompson at the top there says, he's not Sheffield United and he'll never will be. This is in reference to Sellers. The Yanks have effed up. Go away. There was another radio caller into Radio Sheffield who also said, time to get rid of the manager after one game. I mean, I think Preston did it last year. These people are barking mad, aren't they? Weirdos.
I've told you this before. We've got some strange folk that follow us, mate. I'm telling you honestly, it's like an who's who of weirdos. It's like a convention of weirdos that seem to follow us around. Like what? How can you expect manager to be gone after one game? What? Done.
Yeah, I think it's balmy. Do I think that potentially will happen going forward? Yeah, I mean I hope it doesn't because none of this should be laid at Ruben Sellers' door. But I think it's crazy. I mean, same you've got part of me wants to try and stick up for the owners as well because you're pumping 100 million into a club. You can potentially chuck 20-30 million of that extra in January as well. For me, Tom Cannon signing and one or two other things, but so I get it. But listen, like Connor touched on earlier, the money we've brought in, we should be able to bring players in and whatever route he wants to go down. If he wants to sign players from abroad, and fine. But it's just, I think it is a bit of an head loss after one game that there wasn't many things. I mean, I can't say I didn't enjoy that first half because even at 2-1 down, you thought, well, we've attacked well, we've had a load of chances. If that keeps going, eventually something's going to go in. It's when you come out and within 30 seconds you're 3-1, then 4-1 down, that's game over. You can't, we might be having a different conversation if it's, 15 minutes into second half, go and get an equaliser. It's a different conversation. But yeah, I think even with that, like even when Anel was here, we still needed centre halves. So that's the big thing. But as for Ruben Sellers, he's also got to help himself as well by going in there and going, we need these, we need this, we need that. And on what's to say he's not doing that. But at this stage of the season, yeah, it's a bit of an head loss, in my opinion.
Okay. Connor, will he still be the manager come Boxing Day, do you think?
Well, you'd like to think so, but I think you can't judge a manager off one game in. Give him 10, 15 games, then see where we're at. If board want to jump gun and make a harsh decision, it's up to them, innit? But for me, you've got to give him time, especially the way squad he's got. There's not really much he could have done. I think a lot of managers would have struggled to get a performance out of them lads. Attacking wise, like they both said, it is looking good, and you just got to hope they can gel a bit more and get a few more goals, get that touching edge a bit better. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. Penny for your thoughts, Chris Wilder. Right, let's move on and get your predictions for the season. Then, to help you out with this, I'm just going to give you each a couple of teams, and I'd like you just to tell me whether you think you'll finish higher or lower than the team I'm going to give you. Is that all right? Shax, we'll start with you. Higher or lower than Coventry City?
Lower.
Okay. Dan, what about Southampton?
Lower.
Connor, Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Shax, based on what you saw yesterday, Bristol City.
Higher.
Dan, Leicester.
Lower.
Connor, Ipswich.
Lower.
Okay. Lots of pessimism here. Let's find out what your thoughts are. Then most of the pundits I've been tracking.
Why
and
didn't you
watching.
ask it? Why didn't none of us get Wednesday?
I'll
Oh,
wait
come
for
on.
that.
We'll come on to Wednesday in a second and hold back. Most of the pundits that I've seen, there's an average position of fourth we've seen for Sheffield United. So let's see what you think to that. Dan, where have you gone for? You're not allowed to say 12th, by the way. No offence, City.
At the current, it's a tough one because you don't really know how it's going to pan out with a new manager. But on first viewing, if we don't get the players and we don't get the backing, I'm going to say probably bottom half. I know that's thingy, but that's my realistic. I hope that's better, but I'm not going to say a position. I'm just going to say at this current moment, bottom half. Ask me again at end of window, and I'll give you what I think will be then.
Okay, Connor.
If you're asking me now, with this current squad in this current moment, I'd say we'll finish about 16th. If we look at where it's stated defence. But yeah, ask us again after window, and might need to change a bit.
Okay, Shax.
I think we'll come in top 6. Don't know where in top 6. If we went on a good run like round your February, March time, we could be up second, third. But I think if we had a bad run, we could come 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that. So I'm gonna go top 6. I think 5th or 6th, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, dependent on window, because if we sell anybody else, then you can ask me where we'll be coming in League One next season.
God.
Yeah.
We can't have a year of that. Right. That's too much pain to put me through. Right. Thanks for that. Finally this week then, this is a Sheffield United channel, but it's also a football channel as well, and we have to raise the topic of discussion that's going on across the city. Sheffield Wednesday have had lots of issues over the summer. I've seen some Blades fans tweet, look, no one wants to go through this. Of course, there are rivals, but we would miss the rivalry if they did go bust. Dan, do you have any sympathy at all for what's been going on?
I know what Shax had said, but
Well,
I'm
we'll
going to be a little bit more.
because I know
I'm going to be a little bit more. It's a tough one because I think if we were going through it, I'd want to hide away. But I think what's come out in the last week or so, I think they've been looked after a little bit, which is the chairman's job. They've been looked after. Morecambe haven't. Let's not say any more on that little bit, but I just think then today they rock up with a squad. When we've been listening to we've got no players and we've got none of this and we've got none of that. And I just think, listen, football clubs should be run by consortiums, not sole owners. I think going forward to protect the smaller clubs, especially, that's where football clubs should be, because there's too much of this happening. Morecambe for 2 years have been going through this, and 20th of August it could be another, historic football club gone. But Wednesday, I think, roll the clock back to when I was first there coaching, when I started on my coaching journey. They were on verge at Premier League. They were chucking £10 million at Jordan Road, same owner. They wasn't complaining then, and I'd say the exact same if it was us. They weren't complaining then, so he just hadn't looked after it. He hadn't looked after the money. He's had bad advice clearly, and he just don't care, does he? But like I say, I've got family and friends that are Wednesday fans, but I don't know. Sympathy is a strong word. I don't think they'd have sympathy for us, so I'm going to say no. I don't.
Connor?
Definitely not. No. Like, end of the day, when we were getting points took off us not that long ago, it were all our Poundland prints and all this and that, and they can't wait to take piss out of us at any opportunity about and they just want to run them out about how massive they are and all this, and it's just boring listening to them all the time. So just to see them go through this, I enjoy every minute of it. And I make sure I tell all my mates in group chat, all my Wednesday fan mates, we take my car each other, it's what you do. And like I said, they'd do exactly the same thing to me if opposite way around. So I'm just enjoying it.
All right, get ready to turn your volume down wherever you're watching on this next one. Jax, do you have any sympathy for Sheffield Wednesday?
None whatsoever. Not even 0.0001% of me has got any sympathy for any of them. I just, it's not bad enough what's happening. It needs to be worse. It needs to be worse. I would have loved it there if they'd have rocked up today with under 12s playing and lost 58-0. No sympathy whatsoever. And they'd be exactly the same other way around as well. Don't think they won't be doing it other way around because they would. It's not like a one-way street, but like Dan touched on, they've been let off before. They owed millions before Co-op bailed them out. Then they got Chancery in, and like Connor said, they were getting it all us. Oh, we've got a Poundland Prince, we've got this, we've got that, points deductions. So if you can give it like they've give it in past, then you've got to be able to take it, haven't you? And I've got no sympathy whatsoever. Chancery is a legend. I think on our car park we've already got 2 statues. He should have another one, bang it middle. Thailand flags, everything. Just I'd knight him. He'd have an MBE for me and a free season ticket, and he can come with us every away game if he wants some. We'll pay for him. Hero.
On that note, we are going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. Next week, we're going to talk about the Swansea results, however that has gone, of course, and the League Cup as well. We're also talking about the away shirt and the home shirt and looking at where they sit in our favourites. Lots of views on the away shirt, some of which don't like it this year, so we'll get the view. Please comment below and we'll read some of those out next week. Join us for our Swansea review next week. Thank you very much for the 3. Great to have football back, isn't it? Even if it was a 4-1 pounding, but well, hopefully brighter futures ahead. See you next week. Hopefully we might have a few defenders to talk about. Have a good week.
See you later.
Cheers, lads.